Hey, what's up, guys? KLBELVIN here. Give folks a couple of minutes to jump on. Friendly. Hey, it's my wife who I am waiting on. How is she on? And she is supposed to be working. Get to work, lover. Anyway, pulling a book back because it's what's right. Wanted to jump on quick today. As many of you know, oh, you're not in the courtroom. Okay. Hey, honey, how are you today? Well, I'll see you when you come downstairs. I'm not talking to you. I'm scoping right now. Thank you. And give some hearts. How you going to be on with your husband and don't heart me up? Let's go. Give your husband some hearts. Wow. Wow. One purple heart. How about that? It was purple too, your favorite color. Can I get a few of them? Anyway. Hey, guys. Again, one heart. Really? Really? That's all I'm going to get? One heart? Two hearts? That's how we doing it? But really wanted to talk about when you are a self-published author, and thank you, baby. When you're a self-published author and you are in business for yourself, you're going to outsource a lot of things. But no matter who you have work on your project, no matter who you have design your cover, no matter who you have typeset your work, no matter what you do, the final decisions is on you. And what that means is you're going to have to make decisions because you're the one laying out the money, which means the negative and the positive that come from the book are going to rest at your feet. So my new book, Lukewarm Saint, it's a tremendous story. It really is. I took time, over a year, almost 2 years to finish finally getting this story together and getting the book together and getting it out. Well, recently I went back to go over some parts of my book, and I realized that there's just some things that I don't know how I missed it. There's just some things that have to be redone with the formatting, with the editing, and I fought with myself. And I got mad with myself because, I know the book is in the hands of some reviewers, and I know some reviewers may decide to give me the business and you know what? I deserve it. Shout out to my lovely wife. She always reminds me how things are supposed to be done. And sometimes in our excitement, we don't cut corners because we're trying to. We cut them because our excitement blinds us to the methodical process that goes into what has to happen when you put a book out. And then there's the point, even when you bark at me, yes, even when I bark at you, you still got my back. That's why I love you. Then there's a point when you just have to decide, this book is not to the standards that you set for yourself. And it'd be easy just to leave it out there and say, you know what? Damn the errors, if they love the story, they love the stories. No. So even if it costs you money, you have to decide that I'm not going to leave something out. I'm not going to leave something out that I know is less than what is the right way to go about something. And so bravenpublishing.com, we have a standard. And so, like I said, somehow I missed a few things, and then some things was not even something that my wife and I planned on. That's another thing. Like if you're using two different versions of Word, we have 3 different computers in the house, and her version of Word at the time was different than mine. That made some changes, and these are all the things that you have to consider. Now, I say all that to say this: once you find all these things out, and yes, you've been promoting it like I have for months, and yes, some people have overlooked the errors and still gave you quality feedback, which is fantastic, and all that's beautiful. In the end, you have to man a woman up. And when I say man up, I'm meaning in an androgynous way, but you have to toughen up and make the decision to pull the book back. Now, if your book is in certain areas where you can't make the changes quickly, then know that you're just going to have to take the hit, and still whatever financial hit you take, you take. If it stops your flow and you really are grinding and you're really at a level where you know things are great, and you go, oh, but my momentum, if I stop, it's gonna... If the book is not right, and if the book is not complete, then you're gonna have to just restart that momentum, and you're gonna have to trust that your story is strong enough that you can pick that momentum up. Now, that doesn't mean that you will be able to. Some momentum, some situations, when you break that momentum, you don't get it back. But it also has to do with who you are. My wife and I are children of faith, children of God. We can't put out a product that we know is flawed and feel comfortable taking money from someone. Can't happen. So I'm going to have to pull the book back. My wife is going to go through it, fix what needs to be fixed. If I have to have it re-edited, fine. If the errors are greater than I thought, I've been given a few, I've looked at a few, found a few. I just not sure how they really slipped past me. But it happens. Now you have to just pony up and fix it at whatever cost. And trust that the story is strong enough that when you resurface and you start to reconnect with readers, they'll welcome you back. The one thing I have learned over the years is that a quality product will still be a quality product later on. Yes, you may lose. Yes, you may lose some readers now, but it's what you have to do. You cannot put out substandard work when you know you can do better. And as a company, it's not what we do. Now, something doesn't have to be perfect, because you're never going to get a perfect book. Let's say that right now. You're not going to get a perfect book. But when you see too many things, some readers may never tell you, but if it just doesn't sit well with you and you're willing to spend that money, then you do it. For me, when there's too many is too many. A couple you don't stress. Hello, how are you doing? A couple you don't stress. A couple you just simply say, okay, cool, it's whatever it is. But when there's more than a couple, you have to make that decision that it's not going to be the case. And you have to let it go. And so that's what I'm doing. So as much as it hurts me, as much as I enjoy the feedback that I'm getting from Lukewarm Saint, I'm going to have to pull it back to just fix some things. Because I don't like for folks to find something that, when they say, I really loved it, but. No. I just want I really loved it. So I'm going to clear that butt up. I'm going to move that out of the way. And whatever it costs me, it costs me. You know, everything is a learning experience. Yes, I can leave it out there. And yes, I could take the 3 or 4 star reviews and just, no. Because if a book is a good book, and you know that with a little tweaking, it can be a 5-star read, why would you accept anything less? Hey, Dr. Harper, how are you? Now, unless you're like Dr. Harper, we're not even going to talk about that, Dr. Harper. But no, you have to. And then you have to make sure that there is a point when you put the brakes on and say, I'm not going to, hey, love, I'm not going to kill myself with it, but it was too many. And actually, I've learned to trust certain people who read my work. I'm not going there. Your wonderful book, A Prophet to Her Husband, is perfecto for us, for you, and it has been a blessing. You have been a blessing. And put the title of your book up, because I am going to burn that into my brain. A Prophet to Her Husband. I believe I said it right this time. Dr. Melinda Harper. Follow her if you're not following her. Pick up her book. We published her book, and I am so happy that she decided to come through us to put her dream out there. Thank you. Oh man, you've been a blessing to me, and I just love watching all that you're doing. And congratulations on the ebook. Did you create it yourself, or did you have somebody else do it? Congratulations on that. And let me tell you something. Prophet to Her Husband. I have to say, Dr. Harper is one of the, oh yes, she is one of the strongest go-getters that I have met. I love her style, and she keeps me going, and I owe her so much, because the little kicks that she has given me just to remind me of what I need to do based on what I was telling her to do has helped. And yes, I am head down. Cool. I am head down and making it happen. And her book and her efforts behind her book, yes, exactly. has been tremendous. And let me tell you something. She is someone that has watched how it should be done, and then she didn't just sit back. She went and made it happen. So anybody watching, understand, that's what this is about. I'm not comfortable with the fact that people have loved my work. That I am so excited, that I am so happy for. But then when I hear, but there was this, and then there was just one error that really was just a formatting error. You're welcome, darling. It was just a formatting error that I'm like, I don't know. Well, that happened in the transition when we uploaded the file. So I definitely have to fix that. So at that point, just fix everything and put it right back out, and we'll go from there. And I know some would just say, don't say anything. Just put it out there. Don't even address it. Listen, I am going to address any errors that's in work that I do because my name is on it. And I'm man enough to stand up behind any work that I put out that just doesn't meet the level of professionalism that I am accustomed to. Brother Otis, thank you so much for popping in. And so when you have a book that's not where it should be, don't leave it out there because you want to make a couple of dollars or you're worried about the money you're going to lose. Your integrity does not have a dollar sign near it, around it, close to it. What's up, partner? How's it going today? And that's Otis Bellinger, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you follow that brother there. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, you better make sure you check out Brother Otis Bellinger, Sister Regina Poole, and myself. You're going to see some things with the three of us back to back to back. And we're going to really make it happen. And we're going to be doing, talking about building better relationships. The conference at Wayne State University, June 4th in Detroit. It's going to be fire. So please make sure you tune in Tuesday night and Thursday night. You will get a little something from all three of us. But so anybody watching, please understand, when you are in business for yourself, your integrity and your character are intertwined. Now, as Dr. Harper here on the Scope can tell you, I work very hard to make sure when you come to us to do business with us, you are content, you are happy. She can tell you, I'm going to get it done. And I don't really say no to too much. Now, I will sometimes have to ask you to back away from your computer. Sometimes it is in an effort to help you save yourself. But either way, when you work with me, I am going to work to make sure your dream comes to fruition when you choose BraveN Publishing to work with. So that's exactly what I had to do for myself. I love my new book. Let me just say that again. I love the new book. I love the story. I know how much time I took. I know it won't get finished if you're not exactly. And I love what I've done. But once I saw that there's blemishes, once the blemishes were brought to my attention, and like I said, I think I was so blinded with my excitement of getting the book out after so long. Listen, when you work with me, understand that we will work from nothing being there until something tangible is in your hand that you're comfortable with. And if we don't do that, then we did something wrong. I have never let a client down yet. And we have worked on 25 titles in a little over 5 years. February will make 6 years. Actually, 2 weeks, a week. A week will make 6 years that BraveN Publishing has been in business. And we have worked on 25 titles, 26 as of next Friday with Javon Roseborough. And we have yet to let a client down. We have yet to have a client say they don't ever want to work with us again. And we've actually had clients that we've actually worked on their second book. Brother Javon Roseborough is one. His second book is dropping January 30th. Brother Willie, Dr. Cooper. Willie Cooper has both of his books with us. We actually set him up to where he's in business for himself now after we were able to do both of his books. We were able to establish him where he's actually self-sufficient now. We was able to do that for him. So I've done all three of my books through my company. So the thing is, we have a standard that we keep at BraveN Publishing. It is based on spiritual and Christian faithfulness to the Lord and Christian ethics, meaning that you work as hard as you are paid to work and then do a little bit more because it is what the person deserves, because a person should be happy. when they do business with us. And I have yet to have someone look at the finished product and not be happy with their products when they've done work with us. But I'm just saying, as an independent author, when you find there is something wrong with your book, you pull it back. Hey, darling, me a guru? I try. You pull it back and you fix it. You apologize to those that bought the books that had the errors, and you offer them a discount on the next thing, and you go forward and you just accept it. You bite the bullet and take the loss. Do not put subpar product out to the world and leave it. If it happens, it happens. Okay, it happens. But once it happens, and once you know, hi baby, nah, it's KL. Try hi KL. Baby, only my wife calls me baby. Thank you. But anyway, you must then fix it. And if it costs you money, and if it costs you a little, as we say, skin, because some reviewers are going to do you dirty because you sent them out copies that had errors, you accept that. You hold that. You are blocked. That's actually what you are. Anyway, I'm pulling mine back today, the ebook. I pulled mine back today, the ebook, and recent. There you go. See, now Dr. Harper, let me tell you something. She has taught me a lot because she is a perfectionist. Let me tell you, we loved working on her book because she kept our feet to the coals. Dr. Harper don't play. And actually, I loved working with her because just when we thought we were close to finishing, she was like, you know what? And then she didn't have a problem with changing things that she changed, because I would say, well, you know, if you change that, it's going to cost. She was like, no problem, because I want to see it that way. And she would work along with me. And the reason why I loved working with her was it wasn't, ooh, I want to change this as an author. And then it was like, KL, fix it for me. She would attempt to fix things on her own. Some things I would have to actually tell her, no, you're paying us to do that. Relax, we got it. But if she wanted to change something and it was last minute and she knew it was going to cost money, she had no problem with that, because she would pay for the perfection that she was after. And we got that done. And the result has been a fantastic book. And thank you so much for the hearts, guys. A fantastic book that people are responding to. And that's what I'm after. And I have to remind myself, you do not do for others and then don't do for yourself the same way. You cannot hold the bar here for everybody else, and then when you're doing your own work, you drop it down. I refuse to accept that. Oh, wow, there you go. Well, you talk to the block dude. He got something to say to you. Whole lot. But anyway, but it's definitely, I'm old. I like this gray. Got people thinking I'm old. Anyway, you definitely have to. Because, you know, when you're out, and reviewers are going to, look, some reviewers will take it easy on you because if they're used to the work that they get from you, they'll overlook some. But some are not. About the ebook, I was so excited. Okay. No, I'm not old. I'm vintage. There's a difference. Look that up. Okay. Well, see, I know, listen, Doc Harper, let me tell you something. But that's what it has to be. We all have to do that. We all have to sit down and make sure that things is where we want it. Once we've gone through it a couple times and we put it in the hands of somebody else to take a look at, once we're comfortable with where it is, then you put it out there. But like the point of this whole scope is, I'm vintage. They can call me old. Listen, block parties in effect. You know how that is. I'm actually getting excited with blocking people now. Before I was like, I wanted to say something to everyone that was saying something negative. Now I'm like, say something. Give me a reason to block you. I think I blocked somebody the other day, and I think they were joking, and I think I took it the wrong way. I feel bad. But seriously, as independent authors, I am about uplifting the game. I am about assisting other authors, assisting anyone that is coming into this game, anyone that is in this game, anyone that is established in this game. I want to see them do well as myself. But when a book is not where it should be, you have to suck it up and pull it back. Fix it, then put it back out. Now, the quicker that you do it, the less damage it could be. The longer that you wait, the more opportunities that you might have, and then you risk that you get the big opportunity, and here you're not in position with the updated books, and now you're kind of stuck. So you don't want to wait too long, especially when you've done heavy promotion, because opportunities are going to present themselves. Now, let's talk about how you fix it. If it's an interior issue, fix the interior, upload it to your printer. Shouldn't be an issue. Any books printed from that point on will have the updated fix. Now, if you've printed a lot of books, and there's a lot of books out there, this is where you might have to bite the bullet and ask or give those readers something, make an even exchange, and then take those other books and just do whatever. It all depends. It's up to you. Now, if you really had a heavy print run, then you're going to have to just eat it and leave those errors out there and just fix the new ones and pray it doesn't destroy you too much, because you got to know that readers are going to see. You can't fool them, and you cannot insult your readers by acting like you don't see those errors. They will, especially if they're real readers. They read all the time. It'll stand out to them very, very easily. So you have to make sure that you're real with your readers and be honest with them. I know some folks right now are saying, "Hell, why you even do this scope? Don't even alert it to them. Just change it." I ain't got no problem with it. I'm transparent, always have been. I'm not fearful of the truth. And by giving the truth, it's going to be what it's going to be, and it is what it is. And I can't stress money. I say that all the time. So I can't say I don't stress money, then panic because I think it's going to cost me some money. No. It's going to cost what it's going to cost to fix. I'm going to fix it, and then you put it out. And I believe the story itself is strong enough to take this hit and recover. I really do. I believe that I took the time and I put the energy into creating a story that's going to create enough thought that it'll sustain itself when I go to heavy promotion. Plus, with grad school starting this week, I've had to pull back on some of my promotion anyway, because I really got to get this focus on this work. So I'm not that unhappy. Plus, like when I got the message from my friend in Italy, shout out to Brian, my coach. We sit down and talk every couple of weeks, about every 3 or 4 weeks, and to find out that he was in Italy and he enjoyed the book. He even gave me some insights on what he thought about the cover. I'm not going to share those right now, maybe at another time, but it was interesting to hear that he actually mentioned something that really triggered something in terms of maybe even considering redoing the cover in a different way to open up avenues in Europe that I didn't think about, because he had mentioned what some readers in Europe was actually thinking about, and it was very good. So maybe even a European version or cover to my book. So I didn't even think about the UK market. I kind of get excited when I see, but then I started realizing that I have actually had quite a few readers from the UK purchase the book. I don't know if it's from Scope or my Twitter activity, but I have started to see a lot of people in the UK pick up my books. And so it just gave me something to think about in terms of how I can market and promote to some of the folks there. And when he mentioned about the story itself and how him and a friend actually really enjoyed what they read, I was excited by that. And I was like, okay, cool. And that got me like, okay. But like I said, I don't want to get sidetracked. The focus is cleaning the book up first. So that's what I'm going to do over the next 2 weeks, get the book cleaned up, and then right back to work, because I got to be in California in February for a conference. I'll be in Detroit June 4th. Shout out to Otis Bellinger, who's here on the Scope at Wayne State University, building better relationships. I'll be at a literary luncheon March 19th. So that's going to be with 4 other authors. So I definitely want to have it cleaned up. I'm sitting there with 4 other men in their literary game. And I believe there's South Carolina, and Chicago on deck. But I got to figure out how I'm going to do all this and get my grad work in each week. Not easy. I have a very tight schedule. So anyway, guys, my name is KLBELVIN. I will be on tomorrow. I come on at 9, but Regina Powell is coming on at 8 o'clock. Otis Bellinger is coming on at 8:30. I will be on at 9 o'clock. We'll be dealing with finances. Look out for the post when we talk about it. You'll see the post going out. And we're going to be dealing with finances. So you're going to see us going back to back to back. And again, you also will see all 3 of us at Wayne State University at the Building Better Relationships Conference, June 4th. It's going to be fire. I'm bringing my A game because I really want to repair and restore some relationships when I get to Detroit. I really want to leave my mark in a place that I've never been. I want to have folks looking forward to inviting me back or something like that. So, and everyone else who has read Lukewarm Saint, I appreciate it. I appreciate the positive comments, even though some of you looked over the errors, and I appreciate it. I do. I'm going to fix it up. And anybody that reaches out to me that looks at this scope that has bought a copy of Lukewarm Saint, reach out to me, either my inbox on Facebook or my email, which is mainoffice@bravenpublishing.com. I will have a special code that will give you a sizable discount on your next purchase. I'm not going to forget you guys that got the book before I cleaned it up. Trust me, I got you. So mainoffice@bravenpublishing.com or Facebook, just hit my inbox. I got you. I'll take care of you. I promise. And again, let me just run down who I am. I am KL BELVIN. I'm on all social networks: Facebook, KL BELVIN, Google Plus, KL BELVIN, Twitter, KL BELVIN, Tumblr, KL BELVIN. My website is www.bravenpublishing.com. My email is mainoffice@bravenpublishing.com. And again, I just want to say thank you for you guys that took the time out to come on today. I appreciate the hearts. I appreciate the positive gestures. I even appreciate you folks that I had to block, because you helped me practice the skills I need to be able to continue my message while looking at your foolishness in the corner while trying to work that block button without pausing on what I'm doing. So you guys are actually helping me. So I appreciate you too. So, you know, continue your hater efforts. It helps me stay sharp. And everyone else, listen, have a wonderful day. Be careful if you've had to deal with snow like we've had to deal with here in New York. Hey, the Purple Hearts, is that my lovely wife back again? Shout out to all of you. And Dr. Harper, please post up your, actually, if you're on the scope and you have products or a website, please post those, put them out there. Big boss. Oh, here we go. And if you have any questions, now's a good time. I got a few minutes. If you have any questions, please fire away. Questions that have to deal with today's scope. If you go too far left, you will get blocked. I'll accept Big Boss, but if you decide to wild out, you will be at the block party. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you have any products, I hi from Russia, man. Okay, hello. A lot of folks from Russia. Well, I know at this time, I know it's the evening or afternoon, evening. Let's see, what is it? 3 o'clock. Yeah, it's like late evening. So got phone calls here. I got to take some of these calls. Anyway, guys, it has been a pleasure. Let me get up out of here. How do you relaunch a book? Well, first of all, once you pull it back, you basically just take the steps over again. You can go back to what you did before, re-promote it. Go back over the same things. If you want to look and make some changes, let folks know that you're back, or the book is back available. You can pull it back from a lot of the venues that you had it in. If you have a lot of third-party sites, you can actually put a hold on it. Use your distributor. Put it on hold for now. Tell them it's a short hold, so that way no books will be sold. And you just have to basically start all over again. Pick yourself up and really just start with the promotional campaign. You're probably going to have to put money back into your initial promotion, just like you did when you initially promoted the book. And you just have to go hot and heavy like you did when the book was first coming out. And you start all over again. If people say, well, weren't you promoting the book a couple of months back? Yes. Had to touch it up. It's all better now. Let's go. And you just, don't harp on the negative, but just go forward with the positive. Remember, there's billions of people in the world. So yes, some people might have seen your promotion, but not everybody has. Some people might have read your book, but not everybody has. So you're going to promote to those that have not. And you're going to look to get the book in the hands of those who have not read it, and you go hard. And you don't worry about those that'll pop up and say, but I got a book I'll take care of it. Here's a discount code if you want anything else. If they say I wouldn't buy nothing else, okay, fine. Your target is still the other billions of people who have not read your book. Do not get caught up in the one or two that don't want to release themselves from the fact that they did not like what they purchased. Because you could fix it and it could be perfect, and there would still be some people that would have issue with you. So that's what you do to relaunch it. May not be easy, but it has to be done, especially if you know that there's something wrong. Can't put out work that is beneath a standard that you set. You cannot lower the bar because it's going to make you feel comfortable. You have to keep that bar at a high level and then go from there. And push yourself to an even higher level if it's possible. And hold that bar there. And your work should be reflective of that. And it becomes a question of integrity and character. And now if you have questions, if you have questionable integrity or questionable character, well, then you'll do whatever you want to do. But I'm saying for me, it's about holding that bar high and looking to achieve the level. It was my first book. I did no promotion. Well, you can't put a book out with no promotion. How would anybody know you wrote a book? You know you wrote it. How does anybody else know? And you got to understand that writing the book is only a small portion of it. Even though it's a major thing, it's a small part of it. The promotion is the lifeblood of the book, because how are people going to know who you are? We just can't walk up to somebody and say, yo, this is the hotness, buy it. You got to give people reason to want to support you. So it's really not about the book. It's about you. When you were writing it, you had to have an idea of who you wanted to read it. And my question to you is, why didn't you promote it? Why didn't you reach out to those people that you wanted to read it? So you can always, and so relaunch is not going to be an issue, because if you didn't promote it, a lot of people don't know. So if you launch it, it's going to seem like new. So don't say relaunch. Just say, hey, I'm going to launch my book now because I didn't do it then, and go from there. Okay, listen, a lot of us have no help, but there is a lot of free things that you can do. There's a lot of things, just like Periscope is one. There's no cost to Periscope, and you can get on and discuss your book just like I'm doing now. That's free. So there's no reason to worry about money, just like Twitter, free. There's a lot of things that's free. Going out and going to different events that are low cost, that won't cost you. You jumping and falling in the car?
I'm trying not to fall in the snow.
Jumping in here like a policeman. My lovely wife. Falling into the car. Her and snow just don't work. She's been living in New York too long. Got to get her out in the country. But anyway, yes. So what you do is, you have to create. Also, you have to decide how much money are you going to put towards your promoting of your book. Check out Keisha Green. Look for Keisha Green. Do a Google search for Keisha Green. She can help you with book promotion at a cost that is very affordable. So check out Keisha Green. When you find Keisha Green, she's here on Scope, but you can also look for her on Facebook, or she's on Twitter. When you look up Keisha Green, you tell Keisha Green you spoke or you heard from KLBELVIN, and let her explain to you what her promotional packages are to at least help get the word out about your book. Because sometimes I did a few events but unsuccessful. Okay, well then you got to do better planning. You got to do better planning, that's all, because, sometimes things are going to be unsuccessful. But what you have to do is you have to build a team with the amount of money that you have. First, sit down and check your finances. How much money are you investing into you? Then start to build your team based on what the finance that you have. If the yeoman's work has to be yours, then it has to be yours. If money is not available to you right now, well, then you should be on Periscope every day. Why? Because it's free. You should be on Twitter every day because it's free. You should be sending out e-blasts because they're free. You should be doing all the free things first, and then looking for different people that you can work with at a reasonable price that's going to help get your book out. You should be at events that are connected to whatever your subject matter is. Whatever your book is, hey, Sister Pool, whatever your book is connected to, that's where you should be. You should be where other authors are who do the same thing you do. And be around so you can network with them, talk to them, let them explain to you some of the things that they've done that may not cost money. Listen, money is tight for all of us, especially all of us that are independent. But you got to actually stop and ask yourself, how many people have you networked with that could offer you information? Now, I've given you a lot of free information today, so at least now you can run with that. It's a book of poetry. Okay, I'm going to tell you, because my first book was poetry, so I'm going to let you in on how I was able to sell my book. The first thing, it is not about your poetry book. No one buys poetry. Now, I'm not saying that to discourage you. Here's what people buy. Why did you write it? What motivates you? Now, those are the things that you harp on. Those are the things that you talk about. If your poetry is from your heart, then you should be speaking about that. If you are about, your poetry helps you, takes you to a different place, that's what you should be talking about. Let people get to know you, and then they'll want to support. And when they ask how they can support you, well, purchase my book. You should be at poetry events. So when you come off that stage and you tore down, that poem that you just heard is in my book. You should be on free radio, Blog Talk Radio, free radio. There's tons of poetry shows on Blog Talk Radio that you should be on, spitting your poetry and then taking the replays and applying them to your website, to your Facebook page, to Twitter, to everywhere. You should be on YouTube discussing your poetry. What goes into your poetry? What is your poetry connected to? What's your favorite piece and why that piece should be somebody else's favorite piece? And once you've given them enough about you and they want to support you and they want to get behind you, then you say, well, I need you to buy my book because it's going to allow me to continue what I do. So if you're not about you, how can you expect anybody else to get behind you? So if events was unsuccessful, okay, those are learning experiences. If you put your book out and you got to relaunch it, okay, then do it. But the question is, you can't do it the same way, so what are you going to do differently? What's going to separate you as a poet than all the thousands, hundreds of poets that are out there? Because Lord knows, trust me, there's millions of poets, but not every poet has published a book. Not every poet knows how to market their book. Not every poet knows how to publish their book. I use 3 poems for my book. One dedicated to my mother. One dedicated to this lovely woman sitting right next to me. See, she cute. And she got a fur coat on, really? Anyway. And the other one was to fathers. Right here. What was my piece to you? Let's see if you remember. Perfect woman. Perfect woman. My beautiful mom. And I am not Superman, I'm dad. 3 pieces. Every interview, every show, I worked those 3 pieces. If they wanted more, they had to buy the book. But why those 3 pieces? Because I was a father that had changed his life around. Because my lovely wife meant something to me. Because my mom, I owe her for giving me life. And when you are out, that's what you do. So you have to become the reason why people buy your book, not your book. Do it that way, and you'll see that not only will your sales increase, people want to invite you to come and speak to you, to talk to you, to get to know who you are. That is when you start to make a lot more sales. Because people just don't. Ask yourself, how many poetry books have you went out and bought? Most people don't go out and buy a poetry book, but they will go out and support someone that they like. They will definitely support someone that they love. They will definitely repeat what they heard if your poem touches their heart. That's on you to give that to them. The words alone won't do that. You have to apply the emotion that goes with the words. Why? Because you wrote them. That's what it is. It's just that simple. But it requires a lot of work. Hard work, but it pays off in the end, because people told me when I first started, don't do poetry. Oh, KL, nobody but don't do it. Even the books that I was reading says, don't do poetry, because a lot of book clubs and a lot of other folks don't do, they didn't. Book clubs would say, we do everything but poetry. A lot of places would say, we're not interviewing you. Then when they started to find out who I was, I would get requests for interviews. And then when I would tell folks my book is poetry, they was like, really? But because they had already committed to me, they let me do the interview. But then when I did the interview, they didn't care what I was selling. You make them love you, and then you can sell what you want. From the heart. Best way to sell anything, from the heart. And let people know it's from the heart. Well, gotta go. I gotta go pick up my princess. There you go, listen. And here, reach out to me. My email is mainoffice@bravenpublishing.com. Reach out to me. Give me your synopsis about your book. Tell me some things about your poetry book. And I'll see what I can maybe put together in terms of advice that can help you, because I'd like to see you do well. So reach out to me. Let me know. Thanks a lot, Brother Otis. Reach out to me. Let me know what your poetry book's about. Maybe we can pound some things together and actually get you out here to be successful. Also, in the email, let me know what you've done in terms of events and stuff that you did. And maybe there's some things and directions I can point you in, some suggestions I can help that actually help you do well with your book. And also what location of the country that you're in. Let me know what's going on, because remember, this is a gigantic country with millions and millions of people. And just because some of the people that you met didn't buy, there's thousands and hundreds of thousands. Oh, no problem. Listen, this is what we got to do. It's all about helping each other in the literary game, because the quality of work that we can put out helps everybody. Because if you make it, hopefully you'll give back, and it'll help me later on. And if not, I'll come looking for you. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, listen, whatever I can do to help. Main office at bravenpublishing.com. Just let me know that, we met on the scope, and give me your background and stuff information. We'll go from there. Everyone else, remember, I am going to be in Napa Valley, February 26th, 7th, and 8th, that weekend, speaking at the Quintessential Queens Conference and Retreat. March 19th, it is a literary luncheon, and I believe it's at Edison, New Jersey. I have to check. I believe Rahway, New Jersey. And then it is the big one, which is at Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan, with the lovely Gina Poole. Otis Bellinger is the host, and I will be there doing my thing. And if you don't decide to come, Please reach out to anyone that is in Detroit, close to Detroit, that can make it. They need to come. Or here's what I want you to do. I want you to email otis@buildingbettermen.org and offer your financial support. Yes, I said send him money. Now let me explain to you why I'm telling you to send him money. Because he works with young males of color, trying to prevent their lives from meaning nothing. That situation requires money. This conference requires money. We waste enough money on foolishness that sometimes you have to stop and place your money in the hands of those who are doing well. So when a brother steps up and says, I am trying to save the lives of young men of color, when he is saying, I am trying to restore relationships, that he invites a lovely, intelligent woman from Ohio, a lovely, handsome man from New York to come to help repair relationships, that requires your support. When a sister like my girl, Stephanie C. Harper, who's out in California, puts together a conference and retreat designed on helping queens be more of the queens that they should be, that you get behind. Check out Stephanie C. Harper and ask her, how can I support one of the queens? How can I be a sponsor for one of the queens? This is what we have to do. I'm not asking you to buy my book. If you buy it, you buy it. I'm not asking you to use the services that my company provides. If you do, you do. Get behind all of us that are trying to do positive things. We always talk about we want change. We want to get rid of some of the negatives. Well, here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity. Wayne State University, June 4th, 2016. Not next year, June. You have more than enough time to put $5 a week and then send it to them. Contact me. Say, Brother Otis, I heard Brother KL on the scope. I want to support. I want to, what can I do? Can I send you $5 a week towards helping the young men? Yes. Because $5 a week over time, 52 weeks, what is that, 10? That's 200, what is that, 160? No, $260. Come on. We waste that on so much foolishness. But again, guys, look, I got to go, got to pick up my little girl, and I got some work to do tonight. And I hope that this has been helpful to some. And if you're watching on replay, thank you for the time spent. Again, KLBELVIN, main office at bravenpublishing.com is my email. www.bravenpublishing.com is the website. I'm on all social networks. Reach out. Let me know that you enjoyed the scope. Let's connect. If you want me to come to where you are, let's sit down and talk about it. My schedule is open. I'm lining up some things now. I would love to come and speak at your church, your organization, your literary group, whatever, your book club. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys. Have a wonderful evening. It has been a pleasure. God bless.